This is Your Favorite Character Sucks with John.
Oh, we're rolling. Matt.
And Brandon.
A podcast where we look at characters in our favorite books and decide which is the best. Well, not just books, right? Movies, TV shows.
Any form of media, really, yeah.
Right. How does one determine media? How does one determine what the best character is? Well, with our extensive literary knowledge and a level of confidence possessed only by an American man, we can discover the answer to any question. Before we begin, my conscience would not let me go on without first saying that this podcast has assumed you are familiar with the series being discussed. If you haven't read, listened to, watched, or gone on an acid trip that has revealed to you the plot of the series under discussion, then you should stop listening now until you've read or watched whatever we're talking about. You have been warned. On today's episode, Avatar. No, not the James Cameron one. Avatar, The Last Airbender. Not the M. Night Shyamalan one. On today's episode, Avatar, The Last Airbender, the animated series.
A couple months ago, we got together. We talked about Bojack.
Yeah.
Horseman.
Wait, we're starting the cast already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
God damn it.
Okay.
But yeah, you like spoke with my agents. We got it worked out.
Because remember, we turned it up a little bit, so we could probably turn it down.
Yeah.
So
we
we
spoke to your agents. We got a hold of you. Came down from Dallas and.
Flew me out. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're big now.
Damn. Coming in a little.
Now a cartoon that's actually beloved by the.
Yeah. Well,
By the American public.
The first one was like you hear actors
Cult.
sometimes.
Cult
They say,
following.
Like, you do one for them and you do one for yourself. I feel like we did Bojack for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're doing.
Wait,
one for
who
them.
was interested in doing Bojack? Brandon, John?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think
Can you tell me how many listens
Good
that
show.
got?
I suggested it as subjects that CBS
No,
might be
Bojack will get no
interested in.
listens, but it'll be there, and there will be somebody who's like,
You can't just check the analytics right now. What do you mean?
I can't check the analytics, but it's not up yet.
Wait, what are you talking about? This is months later. We still haven't released the Bojack episode?
Yeah, that's true.
We're holding that one in reserve for when we get a little bigger.
okay.
Because it's something we're passionate about.
But no, it'll be there for the people who are like, oh yeah, I started watching Game of Thrones, and then, oh my god, they have Bojack, I can't believe it. You know.
It'll be there for...
Go through the archives.
Yeah.
Raffo Baffo, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Ah, yeah.
It's legitimately been,
Raffo.
it literally been months. I don't remember this guy's name.
Raffo Baffo.
Raffo Baffo.
Yeah.
Rafo. That's the double shout out, by the way, so
Yeah, he got two.
for one comment.
We also have two shout outs for Avatar as well,
Nice.
I think.
So James Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the characters' names though.
Mm-hmm.
There was the
Nope.
I literally-
Nope.
I cannot name a single...
There was Pocahontas.
I can literally not name a single character from that. I know that they have...
There was the blue alien chick, Zoe Saldana.
Sigourney Weaver is the scientist.
Sigourney Weaver.
There's no way that's her actual name, right?
There was that one actor's brother who played the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like got a brother, doesn't he?
Yeah,
It's like famous.
absolutely. Yeah.
Who is it?
I have no idea. But that guy. Okay, so let's get real. M. Night Shyamalan, Avatar.
Avatar.
Jesus.
Avatar.
Let's get real here.
I saw
Okay.
2 minutes of that, and that's enough.
So let's really get real. When I asked Sebastian what show he was passionate about, what he wanted to do, he told me Avatar the Last Airbender.
Yes. And then I lied, because that's not even where my character comes from.
Oh yeah, it comes from
Yeah.
Legend of Korra. So we're doing Avatar the Last
Avatar
Airbender
universe.
and Legend of Korra together. The same, Avatar universe, yeah.
You pick
Exactly.
any Nickelodeon cartoon and you select that
Yeah.
one out of
Yeah.
the myriad of
Yeah.
awesome ones.
Hey Arnold is part of the Avatar universe.
I mean,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
part of the greater Nickelodeon-verse.
Nickelodeon, yeah. the NCU.
Nancy, yeah, as you call
The
it.
NCU.
So, yeah, Doug exists in the same world as these airbenders.
Quillman versus fucking
Yeah.
Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will admit,
Ozai versus Patrick.
my first thought whenever I read, because it was a Facebook message, so I was like, really Avatar, like that kid show from like 15 years
You
ago?
got sucked in. You binged that watch.
But, so I watched it, and I watched the first season as a cynic, as a critic, and I was like, you know what, this is kiddie, but the art's pretty good, the animation's pretty good, the story's pretty good. Like, the dialogue's a little bit
It's very
immature.
juvenile.
Juvenile,
Yeah.
not even that well done, though, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying like they were using
It's been a while
kid
since I've seen.
I think it's on par
The
of like
dialogue's a
cartoons
little-
at the
It's a
time.
little choppy, yeah. So I watched it. First season, it was good though. And I thought to myself at the time, I was like, you know what? This is a good show. When I get on the podcast, I'm going to say, this is a good show that I could like.
That's this.
That's this right now.
Okay.
My plan was to be snarky and be like holier than thou and be like, this is a good show you can watch with your kids.
This is a
You know,
critically acclaimed show.
Your kids will like it. But then I watched season 2 and season 3. Legitimately. Season 1, I think, is a little more kiddie. But season 2 and 3, I think, are really, really good television. It's a good show. Like, the dialogue gets better. The animation gets better. The action gets better. The story continues to progress. The characters are complex. Like, you know, I thought about letting my kids watch this with me, but I would honestly say wait till they're like 7, 9, because some of the stuff that happens in it can be pretty upsetting because it's pretty raw. I mean, like some real stuff happens.
Oh, yeah.
Characters go through hardships and they're complex. So let's get into it.
Get into what?
The best character of Avatar the Last Airbender of famed 2000s Nickelodeon
Slash.
slash
Yeah, that's
Legend of Korra.
What is
Of
the name of the
2012.
what is the name of the actual world? It surely must have a name. Max,
I
we're not
don't
real
know.
fans.
They probably call it Earth.
Yeah.
No way.
They say Earth at least.
If you can,
Aside from the
if
element.
you can Earth bend, you must be on Earth.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought it was just of the Earth.
Yeah, the Earth. They're on the Earth.
Well, that doesn't mean
the
that
word
we're on
Earth would
Terra.
come- yeah.
Like Terra Prime, Terra... What?
It's
Okay.
called the Earth, not an Earth.
No, it's definitely an Earth.
Is
So
it?
this is an Earth, yeah.
No one
case
says
you-
that.
I say that.
No, you don't. Other than this first time
Well,
right
I
now.
said it, so now I say that.
Okay.
So welcome back, Sebastian, to your favorite character sucks.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for coming out and doing this one.
Of course.
Let's get into it. We talked about the setup. Again, anybody who has misgivings as I had, honestly, really good show.
Yes.
Start watching with your kids and then
I think it's
and then
rare.
when they're asleep, finish watching it because it's good.
I think it's rare that people will be getting into Avatar.
Yeah, well, and also it's hard to find. The only way I could watch it was by going to Amazon Prime, which I have moral issues with, and
Absolutely,
subscribing
yeah.
to a 7-day free trial of Nick Hits. That's the only way. It's literally like on lock.
They've
Yeah.
made it, they've made it very
However,
difficult.
Yeah.
however, I think that Avatar will become popular again because Netflix is doing a live action series. Watch it with your kids.
I don't know, man. I saw what they did to Death Note.
but the creators are
The
working on
creators
it.
of Avatar are working on it.
That doesn't mean
Just
shit.
Avatar.
I have high hopes.
Are they giving
No,
them a high-
I
Don't
have medium
have
hopes.
reserves.
I don't
reservations.
have any hopes.
What's the budget looking like? 8 bill?
Who knows?
For that?
Bill?
9 bill?
Wait.
Is this a low amount? I mean, how much? 20? How much could it possibly take to make
I
a
mean,
show?
you
100
can-
billion?
You can spend a lot of money and still not have a good show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Night Shyamalan proved that you can have a lot of money and
It's too early to talk about Star
Like with
Wars.
what?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
God, he just made creative decisions that didn't need to
To be
happen.
fair, genius really does walk the line. That's literally the case with M. Night. His movies are either insane
or
or
bad.
just insane.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
M Night or M Day. I mean, it's night or day with him. It's,
Literally, there's no Daywalker M. Night.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't get the best. Either it's all the strengths or all the weaknesses. There's no in between.
All right. Best characters in Avatar: The Last Airbender / Legend of Korra.
Let's
Putting
start
them all
with
in
some
one.
Mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Yes.
Sokka.
Sokka.
Sokka's actually a cool
I don't
character.
care for him.
Really? Why?
Because he can't bend?
He's
Yeah.
a plain dude. He can't bend. That's not the reason I'm like.
But there's a lot of
he's
stuff that-
whiny.
I mean, of course.
He
He's a
lost his
kid.
girl.
He's a kid. His girl turned
He is-
into a moon.
Yeah.
Pretty
He
bad.
was with that girl for like
A day?
week.
But when you know, you know, dog.
afterwards.
When you know, you know. When you're that young.
But yeah, there's an example of a character sacrificing right there, which doesn't happen in a lot of animated shows, cartoons for kids. I mean,
Yeah. What other good characters? Appa?
I who am I picking for my character? Okay, honorable mention would be Toph. I almost picked her. Like
Toph is
Toph's
She's a
amazing.
strong character.
I almost picked Toph. No one picked
both
Toph, right?
powerful
No.
and
Okay.
And just
it just
I love
development.
Toph from the. I think that she's in season 2. I think that like as soon as I saw Toph, honestly, like that was one of my first like this show's fucking cool because like the blind bandit, who is it, right? And you know you never expected it's going to be her, and they do that kind of stuff in shows all the time.
Talking
Like,
about
it'll
turning
be a kid, you know.
disability into a strength.
But also turning disability into strength. I really enjoy that.
Clearly more powerful because of
Yeah,
blindness.
she can sense the vibrations in the earth and use that to her advantage. And I love the subtlety of her because she beats the first guy that she beats, who's like the boulder, like this big strong
The boulder
guy.
is very
She beats him.
hilarious.
Yeah.
She beats him because she waits for him to take a step, and then she raises a stone, and slides it over and makes him do like the splits. Like she literally beats her opponent with subtlety, and then she just knocks him off the edge.
But she's also very powerful.
She's very powerful, but
She doesn't need to do that,
But she has like she has such she does such minute things.
That
to
interaction with the boulder, it's like WWE show. That's what the boulder is. He's got this caricature. The boulder
like a
reminds me a
wrestling
lot
show.
of like Hercule.
I also like her character because she glazing over Hercule. I also like her character because it turns out she's being repressed by her parents, which goes to the other thing about good female characters on this show.
What are some other examples?
Katara, she's a good female character.
Kyoshi warriors.
And Katara has to go up against the chauvinistic dude in the waterbending village in the north, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That is like refuses to train women and stuff like that, and she it's a pretty cool show. If you have a daughter who's like 7, 8, 9, I think this is a great show to show them.
I mean, even though the primary character's a young boy,
even though I mean, I think that
it focuses on the group for sure.
I think the group gets a lot of it. And Aang wouldn't be alive from her for the things Katara does. I mean, she helps him a lot. She heals
Also,
him.
they discover him.
She discovers
Sokka.
him. Yeah. But Toph is a strong female character. I like that. Yeah, her parents. Oh, she's a little girl. She's helpless. We shouldn't train her. All that stuff. And because she knows that they treat her like that, she's got to hide this other side of her life. And
Most powerful earthbender.
and then she,
Period.
because she wants to go on an adventure and she wants to be something that her parents won't let her be, she lies to her parents and escapes, and they end up blaming Aang for it, that he kidnapped their daughter or whatever. But I like her character a lot. Yeah.
That's just an honorable mention.
Yeah, that's an honorable mention. Yeah. But I almost picked her. I mean, it's a hard honorable mention because I almost picked her.
Yeah.
In the end, I picked Prince Zuko because I think he's got the best arc. He's got. I mean, I can go on for more.
Over Aang?
I think he has the best arc. Aang is very sweet and nice and innocent. He sort of learns new things. That's true. But I think Zuko changes the most, and it's believable. And it's not fast. Because there's a moment where I thought he was going to change, and where I think everybody thinks he's going to change, and then he doesn't.
He does the thing.
And because why would he? But he goes back home, and he has been we talked about in the Bojack episode, thinking that you're going to be happy, right? He finally gets back home, and he thinks he's going to be happy, and he's not. He realizes, I've been away from the Fire Nation for all these years, and I've learned what people are like.
Just a little bit of traveling.
Yeah, a little bit of traveling has opened his mind. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So don't let your kids travel. Don't let them go to universities, because those are just liberal brainwashing factories.
Oh, no, without a doubt. Yeah.
And so he went to a liberal stone earthbending village, and now he doesn't want to take over the world and make everyone Fire Nation now. He doesn't
Losing tradition.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Losing tradition. Yeah. Anyway. So, like Prince Zuko, because of his growth, and because it's believable growth, and he has a backstory that's pretty harsh, which
his face is
scarred by his father.
Fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I acknowledge it. He's a fine character. This would have been a perfect segue to say my character, but I'm not going to.
No, you have to go.
It would have been a great segue.
Prince Zuko wouldn't have been shit without the actual goat of the original series. Iroh.
He needed Iroh's tutelage.
He absolutely needed Iroh. No question. And Iroh, for some, he needed Zuko also.
Yeah.
It's similar. But I mean, who Iroh is what shaped a lot of his worldview got pressed upon Zuko, and that's what makes him better. Because Iroh is just better.
Yeah.
Iroh is the example of literal firebending.
Yeah.
There's him plus the other dude, right? The other dude that's in Lotus. They're the ones who try to use firebending without the rage and the anger. They're like utilizing force lightning without the dark side. And that's what makes them stronger.
Because I feel like really what you learn is it's not just anger, it's like passion in general. And
exactly.
you can gain that from other sources.
Right. Yeah. And that's not just the power. Iroh's got firebending, and he's incredibly strong.
Yeah.
He's the older brother of Ozai.
Also,
he was going to become the Fire Lord.
The only person that can redirect lightning at that time, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He teaches that to Zuko.
Yeah, insane.
And he also just is a lightning bender.
Yeah.
Not only can he redirect, but he can just shoot lightning.
I think that his only flaw is that he is like the leaf on the water. Like, he's got to figure it out. But the leaf on the water doesn't save the world. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
he's the Gandalf. Gandalf can't do it himself.
Maybe he could. Gandalf Gandalf does so much.
He can't, because the
specifically says he can't take the ring.
Precisely. He has to guide someone else to do it. So.
I got you, yeah.
So
he's the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's that role, but I think I like him even maybe more than Obi-Wan. Certainly not more than Gandalf, but definitely more than Obi-Wan. Gandalf's insane. But Iroh's amazing. he teaches Zuko basically everything that makes him a good person.
No,
Which
it's-
is
And he's
insane.
very patient with
He
him.
helps
So
Because
patient.
Zuko is very angsty at first. He's a bitch.
And because
But it makes sense. He's a teenager.
Yeah, no, it does.
And also, he grew up being with an abusive father. And
Yeah,
all these
and
things.
Iroh understands that.
Yeah,
and,
no,
Yeah, it's like the
absolutely.
perfect mentor for him.
no, he's the perfect foil to what Zuko is at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything that Zuko needs. It's like they built the character around him, but it doesn't come off that way. Also, just the fact that you call him Uncle Iroh. I mean, he is.
He's all our uncles.
He's uncle, yeah.
He is
He's all
uncle
He's uncle. Yeah.
to Zuko, but yeah, I mean, he is also just Iroh. He's got a lot of titles. He's a member of the Order of the White Lotus, which is just full of a bunch of old dudes that are immensely powerful.
Do you? Yeah, you find out about those in the third season, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the
It's
end.
later, yeah.
Yeah.
But
But like, by the way,
But still good. Yeah.
Because he just plays that Pai Cho game all the time. And
yeah.
Also, he gets jacked in prison.
Oh, insane.
dude, so
The
swole.
prison breakout is insane. This man's doing like one-arm pull-ups while eating apples and reading books and stuff. Just
What else
literally
does he
just
do?
busts out of the prison.
When you're in prison, you got to get jacked.
Yeah.
He does the three
You
things you
either
can do in
find,
prison.
find God, get a law degree, become jacked. That's what you do in prison.
He shows get jacked because he's already incredibly wise.
He's already the leaf on the water.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he has nowhere to go but up.
But does he have a law degree?
Maybe. I mean, he was going to become the Fire Lord, so he must have some knowledge.
That was
of
the end.
Fire
He
Nation.
like sues the Fire Lord. Like that's how
That's
it
how it
ends.
ends?
Yeah. He
So it's like a
he
Aaron
takes him to
Brockovich
court.
situation,
The,
or-
the Supreme Court in the Fire Nation is more powerful than the Fire Lord. We just didn't know until the very end.
Yeah,
Checks and balances.
Yeah.
Ozai
Checks
just,
and balances. Yeah.
Ozai just put a bunch of lackeys into this. That's the issue. So they had to circumvent that.
All right. Uncle Iroh,
Iroh is by far the best character.
close
from-
second to Zuko for sure. But
Not even close. Iroh's just.
you guys are going to go into Legend of Korra.
Yes.
I talked a little bit about Avatar and what I liked about it. Tell us a little bit about Legend of Korra before you'll introduce your characters, because that's a different series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same universe.
Same world for sure, and I think that
Yeah.
is one of the strengths of. I didn't mention this,
Good
but
world
world
building.
building.
Good world
The
building.
plot is good. World building. It's a really cool world.
I also like how they don't really try and explain too much the
Mm-mm.
the
They
minute
let it
details.
unfold.
Well, no, I'm just saying the minute details of the magic.
Yeah.
Because by granularizing it just makes it better. Because if you try and explain that, there's no way that's going to make
You're
sense.
saying if we know that metachlorians are like bacteria in your
Precisely.
bloodstream, then it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
it worse?
Yeah.
What?
So basically, if you
No, that just makes sense. What do you mean?
fire midichlorians,
Yeah, fire.
water midichlorians, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. They just say some people can vent, and that's just what
Yeah.
it is. You just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That makes it much
Definitely preferred. Legend of Korra. Well, first, it takes place 70 years, 70 years after
The fall of
the
the-
first story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aang has passed, and the new avatars come.
That means dead.
Yeah, he's
perished.
Perished.
Yeah.
Sorry, he has perished.
And this young girl, Korra, is the new avatar. And the first time you're introduced to her, what is exactly
she's already killing it.
Oh yeah, it shows the White Lotus searching for the next Avatar,
Yeah.
and they're talking to her parents and like, how can you be sure she's the Avatar? She just busts in the room, immediately does water, fire, and earth bending,
yep.
and says,
I'm the
"I'm the Avatar. You have to deal with it."
So
it's
polar opposite.
Yeah, completely different Avatar from Aang,
No
which is
connection to
amazing.
Spirit world. Or
Yeah.
Poor spirit world.
But like very skilled at the physical
Oh.
side of bending.
No, without that.
Yeah.
Like
the
much
world,
stronger
The
physically.
world has
than Aang
changed.
also.
It's gone
Yeah.
through like kind of an industrial revolution a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of steampunky, 1920s.
Oh, yeah.
I think
it
it's-
evolves.
Yeah.
The story evolves.
The technology is insane.
Mhm.
Relative.
There's cars, radios.
And I think
planes.
the story becomes more adult, more mature.
Yeah, definitely more mature
I think
themes.
Aang is very
Like
young.
I was thinking, because I told my kids Avatar as a bedtime story. I told them that Avatar the Last Airbender, and they enjoyed it, But I was trying to think of how to tell Legend of Korra, and I was just like, it's just too complex. Like, I got to explain there's like a secret organization, and like they're taking away bending. Like I'm like, I
I
don't
gotta explain what a
it's-
steam engine is.
Yeah,
Ham radio. You don't know what that shit is.
No, I was like, it's gonna be too much. Like I don't know, it's too. It's a very complex storyline. It's not just a guy trying to take over the world. It's a guy's got a vendetta against benders and he wants to take away their powers and stuff. Like,
Well, that's only just.
well, so
My guy is very simple.
that guy
That
is
guy?
my character.
oh, okay, yeah.
So Amon from season 1. Unlike Avatar the Last Airbender, each season in Korra is like a different story.
A
And so-
different world-ending event happening. in
Yes.
this season, literally.
Very
It's-
stressful for
The
Korra.
scaling is whoop.
Yeah, I feel like there are less filler episodes in Legend of Korra. Like I feel like every episode drives the plot.
I like filler episodes.
For the most part,
I
yeah.
feel like every episode
Since
something
each
with the main
season
plot.
is its own
Yeah.
like separate story,
Plot
yeah,
arcs,
it's
yeah.
more focused. And yeah, like you're saying, I think the villains and the conflicts are more mature.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I like Korra more. And so that's why for my character I chose Amon, who is the villain of season 1. And basically he's leading a revolution of non-benders who feel basically disenfranchised.
Yes.
And,
Which you would.
yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
Because benders have this incredible power.
Superpowers, literally.
And-
Without cost. No drawbacks.
It's benders that run the council of the city where this takes place. And so...
How did they get away with ripping off Futurama like that? Just benders everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Futurama referenced every episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
It's just part of canon.
We
Part of
did it like 3 months ago, and we're doing it again today, which is separate from the
Yeah.
other episode you were in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Bojack one, yeah.
Yeah.
I can hardly remember it.
So long ago.
It's like 5 White Claws ago.
There'll be a lot more White Claws between here and then.
Alright, anyway.
So yeah, Amon, I think, very good villain because it's dealing with a very realistic issue in this setting, I think. And also, you didn't watch the whole season yet, but
Is that a threat?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You find out that he,
It's a promise.
kind of like Zuko, he has a tragic backstory. And his father was like this legendary crime boss who was a very skilled bloodbender.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
And
I watched a recap of the whole series.
Oh, okay.
The bending
I spoiled
becomes
it for myself.
The bending becomes much,
Much more
more
powerful.
powerful. Also.
they can, this family can bloodbend without the full moon.
Oh yeah.
And they're very
Blood
skilled at
bending.
it.
Bloodbending is
And
one of the most
so yeah, it turns out Amon isn't even a non-bender. He was just sort of, he hates bending because of his father, and he learns the ability to take away bending through bloodbending. And before that, the only person who had done that was
And
Aang.
using like spiritual methods, right? Like he wasn't using that technique, or is it the same technique?
No, he's claiming he got the power from the spirits, but really it's bloodbending.
It's bloodbending.
And he's just blocking their access to it.
Yeah, essentially cutting off their access
Don't
to
worry
bending.
about the
Yeah.
specifics.
Yeah, they don't explain it too deep.
If you explain it, it doesn't make sense. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Your blood goes to your brain.
You just killed him. Yeah.
He's cutting out the part of your brain that
Losing your bending would be worse than death.
Honestly,
No, it's like
losing a sense.
After House
I mean,
of M, whenever all those mutants lost their powers, someone just killed
I mean,
themselves.
the characters in the show, when they lose their bending, you see them later and they
Yeah.
are just
No,
completely depressed.
I know, yeah.
And they feel like their life is over.
No, I would too.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think Amon
too
as...
limited from what you were before. It sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, I think very interesting backstory for the character, and the revolution he's leading, I think, is a very interesting and realistic plot.
So you're saying we should kill all benders?
Yeah,
All I'm just
I mean,
saying is
essentially.
whenever all these people, they have like real power. It's not even like fake power.
Oh, and
So it's even scarier than real life.
the
Yes.
very
They can just
end,
kill you.
him and his brother are escaping.
Oh,
And
yeah. That's so
his
dark.
brother just blows them up because he doesn't want to accept what his
Gotcha.
brother has done.
Hmm.
No, they escape, but his brother
Oh,
is
yeah.
ashamed by the
They're on a
things
shitty
that they have
rowboat, right, or
done.
something?
No, they're on a
Speeder.
motorboat,
Speedboat,
and so he
yeah.
takes one of those shot gloves and just like grabs the gas tank. And so I remember when we first watched it, we're like,
yeah.
"This is a Nickelodeon show,
Yeah,
and these
no.
dudes just killed themselves
Well, I
after
mean,
being
one
defeated."
guy killed another guy and committed suicide.
Yeah.
like
It's
murder
nice
suicide.
murder
It's
suicide.
insane.
It's just a murder suicide. I mean, you gotta learn about that when you're 10 years
Yeah.
old, I think.
Yeah, for
Hey, Arnold?
a
Murder
Nickelodeon show,
suicide.
very crazy.
You gotta learn about the intricacies of a relationship, kid-to-child relationship on Hey Arnold, and then
Yeah.
murder-suicide the next thing.
Yeah.
So, who's your character, Seabass?
I'm also choosing from Legend of Korra. My character is a villain, but doesn't have probably
His character's
as relatable stance on why they're evil. I'm going to go with Zaheer, and I like him purely just off badassery. Because the Avatar that we know, or the Airbender that we know to be the strongest, was Aang, and you could say he's pretty disciplined. He's a child, but
No, he didn't have time. That was his issue. It was like a Luke Skywalker situation.
Oh,
where
he would have been
like,
so insane if they had actually had proper
it's
training.
a Luke Skywalker. It's like I gotta get trained fast for this fight. You know? Yeah.
But Zaheer, you see him in, he's been like following this philosophy of this airbender for his entire life, but he doesn't actually airbend until after some events in Korra that allow people to randomly get airbending.
Yeah, that's a weird. I saw
So
that.
he gets airbending after like just studying for years and following this philosophy, and that's what drives his motive. He's kind of just like an anarchist, but thinking that chaos is the new world order. So not as relatable. I don't think a lot of
No,
people are just like,
absolutely.
yeah, chaos, that makes sense.
Well,
But he does some pretty cool things.
I think logically it makes sense because this is a world of order now. Because Zuko and Aang have created this world of structure and order and a system and stuff like that, and so maybe he's rebelling.
Yeah, the
against
world
that.
is evolving, but he's like following this philosophy from
Literally
literally
4,000 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
very
Does
old.
he have a place though in society? You know what I mean? Is he like an outcast? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
He's a criminal.
When you see him,
definitely
he's
like
been
that.
in prison for 15 years
For
when you
what?
first see him.
He has this evil avatar, or evil, what do they call it? Team avatar? He has like an evil team avatar, where it's just like one of each element, but they're all like OP as hell.
but why was he in jail?
He tried to capture Korra when she was first discovered to be the Avatar.
He's in this group called the Red Lotus, which opposes the White Lotus. So White Lotus protects the Avatar, and he's like, we need to get rid of the Avatar, we need to get rid of these structures,
structures,
yeah,
I got
and
you.
let chaos take over.
Okay.
He's also voiced by Henry Rollins, former lead
Nice.
singer of
Also an
Black Flag.
anarchist.
Yeah,
Literal anarchist.
Yeah.
maybe back in his younger
Yeah, when he
years.
was younger,
Yeah,
he was
he's
more-
settled down quite a bit
He's like,
now.
man, I get paid, so I'm good.
That's capitalism for you.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but we'll be right back after this very special message. Hi, I'm Gabor Supo, creator of Rugrats. I gotta tell you, as creator of a colossally successful cartoon that failed to produce a strong spin-off, I'm envious of what the Avatar creators were able to do with Avatar and Legend of Korra. Not only do I admire their bold decisions to have beloved characters die off to make room for an entirely new cast, but I've been inspired to do the same thing with my beloved series, the Rugrats. That's right, in this age of Netflix-fueled 90s nostalgia, I am announcing my new follow-up series, Rugrats Reborn, Ultimatum. Rugrats Reborn shows us what the world of Rugrats looks like 50 years in the future. Just as the problems of Legend of Korra grew more complex, this entirely new set of Rugrats has to deal with the problems that beset 2040 America. Climate change, parents who work full-time to afford full-time childcare, legal blindness caused by constant and early exposure to phone screens, and a gritty reboot of Reptar franchises are just a few of the fun troubles that these rascals have to face with. Where's the original cast, you ask? Well, due to the wild lifestyles they led on the original show, obviously, most of them didn't make it to grade school. And the ones that did weren't able to survive past the cannibal wars of 2032. But you can rest assured knowing that some of your favorites will be back. For instance, Dill Pickles managed to live into his 50s and has replaced the grandpa, who unfortunately died, in the always funny armchair sleeping role. Watch Rugrats Reborn, Ultimatum on Netflix in 2020, because you'll watch anything.
I think you'd
Also,
appreciate it more
honorable
then.
mention for me is Asami. 'Cause I think she's a good example of...
Salami? Who?
Yeah.
Don't disrespect Bay like that.
She's a non-bender, but she uses technology to sort of compensate for that.
She's in Korra?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I was talking about strong female characters, I was also thinking about the 3 Fire Nation chicks that kind of hunt after Aang in them.
Yeah, they're cool.
And one of them doesn't use bending. She like hits pressure points.
Yeah,
around.
yeah. She's like a ninja.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tylee?
The restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the restaurant I used to be employed by.
Dang it! What is her name? What's Zuko's sister's name?
Azula,
Yeah. And Azula is another character that I think is a really good female character.
the Blue Fire.
Yeah, she's like
badass.
the main
Very
villain
insane.
from season 2 on. I
Oh,
feel
no,
like.
for sure.
You know,
Because that's when Zuko stops hunting, and then she has to go
she
hunt.
disables Aang.
She's very powerful.
She like, you know, like there's like a moment where like when you're really talented and stuff like that, you're super confident, and then there's some people who just like hit you in the Achilles heel, and like then you second guess yourself from then on. She like put doubt in his heart. Like she
Only for a bit.
She messed that dude up. Nah, even until the last battle, he didn't get it back until the last battle, until an accident. It was like a freak accident. He like
Yeah.
fell back and hit the rocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
But he did.
He did. Yeah. All right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It all happens according to the way that it must be.
Yeah.
Because the writers wrote it that way.
Yeah. All right.
You know, she's a really cool character.
We need to know your character.
But it's all part of the Zuko story. Which is all part of the Avatar story. It's kind of really honorable
All
mention.
right, Aang's the best character.
Well, I mean,
Shit.
Aang is an honorable mention.
Yeah,
I know a lot of
who's?
people don't like Aang,
I like Aang.
but
Oh, yeah.
I think he's
definitely- he's not as annoying as like a Naruto or something.
He's a
like that.
pretty standard protagonist.
Mhm.
yeah, he's. I think
He's chill.
he's just
Yeah.
young enough that you don't have to deal with a lot of the annoying bullshit of
But he's also
relationship stuff. There's a little bit of
But
that.
he's not-
There's
not-
some of that in Korra.
he's not so whiny though. Like I feel like
Oh no, he's very enthusiastic
he's
about
enthusiastic.
it.
He's
Yeah.
kind. He's
Yeah, of course.
He's understanding. Like, I think he's a good kid.
And that's a kid
Probably a good
that
role
wakes
model
up-
for children who watch the show.
Yeah.
He's also alone in the world, technically. He's just got his friends,
Oh, yeah.
his family, and everything.
His entire
Plan.
civilization was genocided, which
Correct.
is insane
yeah.
for a kid show.
It's very Prince of Egypt. You know how Pharaoh kills the firstborns of all the. This is according to the lore of the Bible. They
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to say Prince of Egypt. You can just say like the building.
okay,
of
so
the
yeah,
Bible.
in the lore of the Bible, it's very similar to that, right? Where the Airbender was going to be the next Avatar or whatever, and then. Am I not correct? It is very similar.
What are you talking about?
Isn't that what happened? So Ozai, that's why they went for them first. Isn't
Yeah.
that part of the lore?
What?
But I don't
Like a
understand.
prophecy?
I don't understand what that's to do with Moses.
What are you talking
Moses
about?
was foretold to, like,
Because, they said that, so Pharaoh went and he genocided, that's why that happened.
killed all the Jewish.
Killed all the first, or all the babies.
Also,
that
I
were
thought we'd
being
just call him Pharaoh. Pharaoh who? That's his title.
No, it's
call
also,
him Pharaoh.
it's a title
There
and
are
it's a name as
there are
well.
several pharaohs.
Oh, no,
though.
for sure. I'm sure he
You
has a
can't
name.
just say
It's
Pharaoh.
not Ramses, it's the one above him.
It's Hop, Shep, Shoot.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. But no, it's literally exactly so.
God bless you.
They wipe out all the firstborn, or all the babies, because it's like foretold that they're going to lead all the slaves out of Egypt or whatever. So it's the exact same shit.
Was there a prophecy in Last Airbender? I thought they were just cleaning
It's
the
not.
house.
It's not prophecy.
Asked.
They just know.
They know 'cause the order
because
of
it goes in
avatars.
order.
Yeah. So
That
that's why he goes
Airbender
for
was
their-
next.
I asked my friend. We were at church together actually, and I said,
I don't believe this story.
She's the one who wants to do the musical episode or whatever.
Oh.
And,
I
I
was
said-
trying to gatekeep me.
I said we'll
Oh,
do.
no.
We'll do best characters of the Bible next, and she goes Jesus. How did she was like episode done. She was
First
episode
of all,
done.
that is not correct at all.
Oh no.
That honorable mention, Emma.
Honorable mention Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God's pretty up there too. Like God, Holy,
The Holy Spirit.
Yeah, God's up there. John the Baptist, just playing him.
I'm going with my man Paul.
Paul's a good one.
I mean, I thought it was obvious. I thought she was right, but
Oh, you think so?
yeah.
What about Adam?
And what about Job?
Job's a good
Job?
one too.
Job, strong choice.
Yeah, Job's a good one.
We're getting off topic.
All right.
What about Methuselah?
What about the devil?
Longest lived man to ever
No,
exist.
we love Methuselah.
We love us some Methuselah.
We're some Methuselah heads over here.
The point is,
Methuselah.
if I were to pick a character from the Bible to 1v1 any other character
No,
from
we're
the
not
Bible,
1v1ing.
Methuselah's insane.
Yeah.
He's not only just the longest lived, but he's also a warrior.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a Nimrod main.
Nimrod is a good one too. Greatest hunter to ever live.
All right. Avatar.
Come on, nerds. You know what it is. Every episode I get on here and beg you to follow us and like our stuff and blah, 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 blah. If you haven't done it by now, then you're just lazy. Twitter and Instagram at YFCSPod. Hit the subscribe button. Like, rate it. If you want to be extra, you can review it. Just a little thing like, hey, this is an awesome podcast. Click, reviewed, done. All right, not going to waste any more of your time. Back to the show.
Great voice actors in the show. The chick who plays Anne on Arrested Development, what's her name? She was in Parenthood for several seasons. What's her name? She
Rashida
plays
Jones?
Katara, I think. Or Rashida Jones.
Wait.
No, Rashida Jones was on Parenthood.
Oh, I thought you said Ann in Parks and Rec. I can't listen.
You just want to talk about fucking Rashida
Yeah.
Jones. Bro.
I do, honestly.
He's talking about George Michael's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Egg.
Yeah. She did Mae Whitman.
Mae Whitman. Mae Whitman voices
Katara.
Katara. And, I only know that because I had to watch on Amazon Prime.
It gives you
And
the,
it gives you the details.
awesome.
And guess what else? There was a prison guard for Zuko whenever he's being imprisoned. It's like an earthbending place, and he's imprisoned there. And I was like, this prison guard sounds very familiar. Clicked on it. Serena Williams.
Yes.
Voiced the prison guard. I was like, what is that?
She was also a guard in Legend of Korra then.
Maybe.
An Avatar fan?
Weird.
I was like, what the? But I recognized the voice. I'm like, who is that? And then freaking,
Yeah.
Serena Williams.
Makes
Pretty
sense
dope.
to me.
No, Legend of Korra has some pretty good voice acting, just from like regular actors.
Yeah. We were just talking about J.K. Simmons in our last
J.K.
set.
Simmons is-
He's Aang's son in Legend of Korra.
Aang Sung?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely is. Yeah.
So was Aang...
Speaking of, I don't think Katara and Aang should have been together. I feel like that relationship was forced.
Yeah, I could have done without it.
I
It's
mentioned
definitely
it.
unnecessary.
It felt to me like
Well, you do need it for
this is the main guy.
Yes, so that's why I appreciate
You
it.
actually kind of
Aside from that,
He could have fell in love with anybody. We don't need that.
You could have had...
I feel like they weren't.
no.
There was no courtship. I feel like there was
Agreed.
no courtship. It was just Aang liked her.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just that way through circumstances.
So again,
No, I was honestly about Zuko and Katara.
a show where like
When I first watched
a lot,
it.
the girls are very strong characters. I feel like that relationship was very one sided and put on the female character as opposed to like actually having a courtship where she also liked Aang. I think he like kissed her once after waking up from that like dream he was having, like these daydreams he was having. Kissed her and she was very taken aback by it. Like she was like, "What?"
So that is one of the
I don't feel like
weaknesses.
there's a lot of romance. After that, there's not like a romance scene later on.
Well, you don't know
No,
what
she-
happens also
that's like
between
before
the
she
end of
saves him,
Ozai
right?
And before Korra, there's
That's
a long
after
time.
she says
After.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything could have happened between the end.
I think if you're gonna have them be
and the
together in the end, we gotta see some romance
Why?
to explain.
You want to? What do you
Why?
want to see kids do?
Yeah, I'm so confused. That's actually very uncomfortable.
I can't make jokes about this topic.
No, you can't.
God dang, I was about to lean into it. God dang.
I don't find it that unreasonable because I don't care. Because it doesn't bother me. It doesn't take away.
It was weird
So-
to me. I was like, I don't like this.
One of my arguments is that Zaheer is a better airbender than Aang.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the weaknesses Aang had was there's that spirit thing where he's walking across the bridge and there's that big version of him, the shadow version.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to like get to the next level, he needs to get rid of all his connections, and he decides not to because of Katara. However, Zaheer, one moment does just release all his earthly possessions, and that allows him to fly, which no other airbender, at least that we've seen, has been able to do.
Except for this guru who he like idolizes.
Yeah, so he releases like all his
Basically,
earthly connections.
when an air monk reaches enlightenment, you can just
But he's
fly.
Sarata Gautama.
Yeah, you can just fly indefinitely.
Fly, yeah.
which we
That's what her
Aang can
He
do.
was fly.
Yeah.
It's not really that
You're
useful.
still trapped on Earth.
Angel from X-Men. Just a Buddhist. Like he just attained Nirvana. That's all he could do.
But then
He
he
wasn't
got-
even a mutant. He just attained
What about
Nirvana.
when he lost his wings?
He lost it.
When he got them back, though.
Gained it again.
Yeah.
Alignment.
He discovered White Claws. He's like, you know what? Actually, these are pretty sick.
Let me bring it down to earth.
Yeah.
He's like, I was really on and off.
Where the White Claw saved him?
No, that took away. That was his earthly tether.
White Claw, the official drink of
Losing your mutant
your
powers.
favorite character
favorite
sex.
character.
Unfortunately.
Can we get a sponsorship?
Yeah, honestly,
Legit?
that'd be a sick sponsorship.
Talking about Zaheer still.
So here's the
Well,
What else? Tell us more.
relationship
Everywhere.
stuff and
Oh,
do,
the
you,
rest
do you have
of
an
the
honorable
stuff is-
mention?
Varric from Legend of Korra,
Varric Dondarrion?
Yeah.
businessman, entrepreneur,
Iron Man.
Iron Man essentially.
He's
Yeah.
literally the Iron Man of the Korra universe.
He did some skeevy stuff in season 2 of Korra.
He's a good guy in the end.
But yeah, I love that man. Very silly, comic relief, but in a clever way.
Also important.
You talk about good characters, and I feel like a lot of people look at like Campbell's hero's journey as like, does a character go on that hero's journey of like self-discovery and like inward looking to find their power and stuff like that. Aang goes through that. The main character goes through that. You know, he has to lose his power to find himself to then
Korra does
defeat the
too.
enemy in the end.
She literally loses her power.
Also,
Yeah, she loses her bending.
the other character, Prince Zuko, goes through the hero's journey because he also has this. He thinks he wants something, and he gets to it, and then realizes that it's not worth it. Has to throw away who he was. He has to be reborn into somebody different, and then he's finally, reaches the end of his journey.
And
So-
what was that role? What was the end of his journey?
well,
What was important?
He supported the take over the Power Nation. Without his help, they wouldn't have been able to figure things out.
I feel like that follows the hero's journey more than Aang, because Zuko
I
leaves
think-
home
Yes.
as this develops and then
Yeah.
comes back. It's all
Yeah.
full circle.
And finds himself and also discovers that the things he thought are not, what they
Zuko's
were.
definitely way more traditional.
He also has there's a lot of like pain and stuff that he's dealing with inside that he has to get rid of.
Yeah,
so
some
it's
of
not
that's real, some of it's
less of
fake.
it is like magic. Like I feel like Aang, it's like magic stuff. Like he's got to get his spirit
Well,
powers
of
back or
course,
whatever.
because he's the Avatar.
But for Zuko, it's like it's emotional and it's like a relationship with his father and stuff
Oh,
like
for
that
sure.
that he has to let go of.
He's
to
the
then-
Draco Malfoy of.
Except Draco Malfoy doesn't go to the hero's journey. He doesn't ever. He doesn't let his old self die and become new, and Zuko does. So
I mean, he can't kill Dumbledore.
it's not letting his old self die.
I mean, he's holding on to it barely. I mean, he's not forced to, I guess is the point. I
Zuko
mean, Zuko's better than Draco Malfoy.
as a
Yes.
character, yeah, I think so. Potter. There we go.
Hero's
That's it?
journey.
Everything? Hero's journey?
He goes through the hero's journey.
And that's
I
what
think-
makes it good.
Well, I think the hero's journey is a solid and proven
Formula?
plot arc, for characters.
Sure. I
And,
agree with that.
the reason I think it is because I think there's truth to it. I think that a lot of your problems can be solved by looking inside instead of trying to look outward. Like, and I mean, even Bojack Horseman. The whole point, again, is not trying to find happiness outside. It's about what's inside. You have to fix what's inside before you can fix what's outside. And that's an essential part of the hero's journey, is taking apart who you are and figuring out what's really inside and bringing
Emptying
that
the
out.
cup before you can refill it. Yeah.
I think that's slightly different, but I think
That's very
I
simple.
think it's a different message, but I think it's,
Is it?
it's a good one. I like it, but
How is it a different message?
bird in the hand's worth two in the bush. You know.
Last one there's a rotten egg.
Yeah, there's more ways to skin a cat.
Just every idiom we got.
Yeah, there's a snake in my boot.
Can we name all the ways to skin a cat? One.
Okay, so Zuko, Hero's Journey.
All right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's all I got.
That's what you got?
That's the next point I got. Yeah, I got more.
Oh, what you got, Bran? Tell us some about Amon.
On the hero's journey, or just in
No.
general?
You
Both?
said he was good because he's a villain who's got good motivation and he's interesting.
Sure, he thinks he's a hero.
Oh,
Yeah, well, he's trying
fighting for the
to.
common man.
He's
Paul Bearer
trying.
thinks he's a
Well,
hero.
okay, so like I said, it
He's
turns
burning.
out
Lily burned
it turns out he is a bender himself,
Yeah.
but he's been
Rich.
traumatized by bending because of his father,
Yeah.
who forced him to learn blood
He's
bending.
Bernie's a billionaire.
Yes, I mean he is pretty rich, but
He's been a senator for quite a while.
Top 10%
No.
of vendors
I'm gonna go mute
in
this.
the Republic City are richer.
No.
anyway, so he's trying to eliminate bending from the world to make everyone equal.
Which is fair.
Yeah, and
Does he ever talk about the top 1% though? Of,
no, I don't think so. Not so many.
Bending is a pretty.
But it's
important
interesting
percentage,
I
because
feel like there's a lot of vendors. Yeah.
he's viewed as like a huge threat, and it's a very serious conflict. They even go as far as to call it a war. But for the most part, he's not like killing anyone.
Is that right?
He's just stealing their bending,
Yeah.
Which is
and which
Which is a fate worse than death. according
yeah,
to
which
Matt.
yeah, it
Oh,
goes to
without a
show
doubt.
just how valuable it is to have bending. But also that kind of proves his point.
No,
Yeah.
Like if you're willing
Yeah.
to
Do
fight
they
to
ever
the
see that in
death
the
to
show?
save your bending, then you can
I don't
kind
think
of
there's any
understand.
Do they ever
Right.
see that in the show? Like, do they ever see that maybe we do care too much about bending, or maybe we are treating the common people like they meet him? You know, a lot of times villains will teach the hero
Well,
about
The
themselves.
thing is, there's also common people that rise above as well.
I would say
Honestly.
not really, because then they just find out that he is a bender, and they're like, "Oh, you're a hypocrite."
You
And
can't
so
be a hypocrite.
exactly, so everyone just kind of
The thing is, you can exist within a broken
Denies
system
him.
and just still work to dismantle it. It's easier to do it from the inside.
Yeah.
because what I was
It's like so much easier
asking,
for Ernie.
what I would like to know is if he's truly committed to that cause. If he did like cleanse everyone of bending, would he also do it to himself,
I assume he'd just kill himself,
or would he?
Oh.
right?
I said he would just rule over them as a god with blood bending because there's no one to challenge him.
Bloodbending does seem hacked.
Well, that's-
Oh, it's very
I've only
powerful.
seen a smidge of it.
It's insanely
It's the
powerful.
top
But like
bending power,
entire
right?
rooms,
It's illegal.
brought to their knee.
Yeah.
It's like the only illegal
You
bending
know, if it's illegal, it's good.
Yeah,
Top
Like
bending,
marijuana.
blood bending,
in Texas.
metal bending.
lightning bending is probably better than metal bending. It's a lot faster.
Metal bending is way more practical.
Yeah, in terms of industry, but they also use lightning bending to like power all their electricity.
Not even
Mhm.
just that, but like the police force's use of metal bending is amazing.
But think if you give that same cop like
Lightning.
lightning bending, that's pretty.
It's crazy how casual they do it in
lightning
Legend of
bending,
Korra.
you're just killing people.
Yeah, exactly.
Metal bending, you can apprehend.
Yeah, it's like an American
You can
police
swing
thing.
around like
After that.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between a
We
taser
need
and an actual 9mm.
We need to militarize the police.
What I'm saying is,
More.
why are only metal benders police? Is it because all the other bendings are kind of lethal?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like fire bending, if you roast them, they're dead.
That's what I'm saying. If you shoot someone with fire or lightning, it's
Or you drown someone in
Airbending just
water.
suck the air out of their lungs.
Jesus. Well, that happens,
Yeah, it
actually.
does.
I know
Yeah.
this. I'm not. Yeah.
Airbending is scary as well.
I've seen it. I'm referencing it.
Airbending is pretty soft when it comes to the application.
Mhm.
They don't really talk about it as much compared to firebending or earthbending.
Airbending, just put an air bubble in their bloodstream and they're dead.
Yeah, or bloodbending. That's what bloodbending is. You just block one artery for a second and they die. No blood flow to the brain. But you'd also imagine that so much of the body is water. Why don't they just...
Yeah, water bending.
I guess that's the idea behind bloodbending.
Yeah.
I think it is partially like it's an evolution of water bending in a
Yeah.
way.
But I mean, think of how many minerals are in your body. Earthbending should also have some
Jesus
sort of body
Christ.
control. I'm just saying. Right?
Yeah.
Because you got so much like...
One of the things
the
I
Magneto
love,
think of someone to just rip all the iron out.
world building wise, I love the fucking earthbending village back in Avatar the Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
How they like make elevators by just lifting the earth
Oh, no,
up and
for
like
sure.
Yeah.
a system of like not subways. It's more of like railway almost.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's a monorail.
with stones. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
No, the worlds are awesome. I was talking about how just earlier about how I like the North
how-
and South Pole animosity between the
Yeah.
waterbending tribes. Like that's their points of power. I thought that was just interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool because everybody else is just fire, earth, and then the air is a nomadic, but then the water has two separate.
Mhm.
And even though they're similar in a lot of ways because they're rooted in waterbending, they're also different in a lot of ways. One is a lot
Which makes
more
sense
accepting
because
of
they're so
polar opposites.
yeah. So
Mhm.
Oh boy.
I'm throwing
Separated.
finger guns, boys.
What else can we say about Uncle Iroh? I mean,
There's nothing that needs to be
I
said.
think you said pretty much everything
The
about
thing
him.
about Uncle Iroh,
He's comedic. There's comedic
Oh, no.
moments,
Yeah.
right? There's moments where you kind of
He's lighthearted when it's needed for sure,
he's
and just funny. Yeah,
funny. I would say he's probably the wisest character.
Who
Absolutely.
voices Uncle Iroh? Is it?
two voice actors.
Two voice actor because he died halfway through.
Mhm.
He died. He stayed alive throughout the series.
Oh, in the series he's alive, but the actual voice actor died.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was on an episode of Friends, dude. Be
He's
respectful.
on an episode of Friends.
He was.
Which one?
I recognize it.
Was he
It's
monkey?
like in the first season. What?
Was he like the monkey that lived with Ross?
He was like a Japanese man that spoke with Rachel in the coffee shop at some point.
He's just called a man of Japanese.
No, I didn't. I assumed that a voice actor was a monkey. I didn't know what his race was.
Anyway, speaking of actual lemurs, Momo.
Voiced by Bree. What's the name?
Larson. What?
D. Bradley Baker. He voiced all the animals and the waterbender from first season. What was his name? The brother of the Mon.
Tarlock.
Yeah, Tarlock, and then all the animals he voices.
That's impressive.
Oh, he was Tarlock. I thought he was
Yeah.
Amon.
No,
Who's Amon then?
I don't know, but that's a
He
good
is
voice.
Very recognizable.
Who's the flying ox? What's it?
Bison?
Flying? I thought it was bison. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
flying bison. What's his name?
Appa?
Abba.
Appa.
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 A-P-P-A.
Appa's a really hacks thing. I feel like.
Yes,
Well,
flying bison
makes Aang
are
hacks-
dope. They're
hacks-
large. There's the biggest creature I think we've
It gets him out of
seen.
some trouble.
No,
but
it's really just Nimbus.
it's a nimbus.
It's the nimbus, yeah.
It's even better than nimbus because it attacks things sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nimbus can attack me.
I like the sources of bending, like so Sky Bison are the original airbenders.
Yeah, true.
Or like dragons for
Or the
fire
original fire
bending.
rays.
You got the
Another
moles.
Iroh thing.
What's weird is though
One
it's
of
like
Iroh's lore is when he meets
it's
the
three
dragons.
animals and then just the moon for water, which
Yeah.
is kind of it's kind of weird, but
Two koi fish and also the literal moon because it manipulates the tides.
yeah.
But he's the
Yeah, I mean that makes sense though. I like
No.
the tide manipulation. thing.
Yeah, because another awesome thing about Iroh meets with the last two dragons, tells everybody he killed them, but secretly. just-
Yeah, it keeps them
That's
safe.
Such a good
And then
man.
meets with the dragons, learns everything he can from them, and then takes that knowledge, passes it down to Zuko. It's insane.
That's pretty cool.
Also, how is it that he's able to keep that secret from everybody? Surely someone must have checked that shit out and been like, oh no, there's definitely two dragons still just hanging around here.
You're gonna undermine the
Yeah.
brother of the Fire Lord?
Oh, I guess that's true. And he's not just wise, he's also very powerful. I'd assume he's, because they said even Iroh could have challenged Ozai, he just wasn't sure. So it's like a 50-50 between Ozai and Iroh, if he could have won. But I guess the idea is that the Avatar has to be the one to do it, because that's how you restore balance. If Iroh does it, it's just another Fire Lord toppling a Fire Lord.
Yeah, it's just a coup.
Yeah,
within
and also the
Fire Nation.
reason why he stepped down I thought was pretty interesting in history. I mean, his son dies in the war, and he's like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why are we even doing this?
Yeah.
This is fucking stupid."
Yeah.
So his reasons, all this stuff, and that's he sees
His
Prince Zuko
son,
as
his
a-
son died in the war,
as a son.
and Zuko's dad is just like tries to kill him. Yeah. Just,
Yeah, so they have to be that for each other.
Yeah.
And then Uncle, yeah, and there's a lot of secrets that he has hidden and stuff. And he tries. I feel like. I mean, Iroh doesn't interact with the others as much because he's mostly for Prince Zuko. But in his brief interactions with them, he's always very like
He's in like the spirit world in Legend of Korra, right? Something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You run into him again.
doing tea stuff, right?
Yeah. Tea with the spirits.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Just living it up.
I feel like there's a point in like the second season of Avatar where he's captured and he's just fine with it. Like they have him, I think like the stone, the earthbenders, whatever, have him captured and he's just chilling. Like he's like, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah. Because he just kind of lets things go.
What about God dang, the earthbending king that's also part of the White Lotus? I think?
Oh, yeah, the
What's his
crazy
name?
ass dude.
Boomy.
Boomy. yes.
Really insane.
Yeah. Boomy's
Let us
Boomy.
leave.
Let us leave is a classic quote.
I'm
Let us
just-
leave! That's
Oh.
what Aang, and then the man says, let us leave.
Yeah.
Let
Just
us leave.
holds up a piece of
Let
lettuce.
us leave.
Yeah, an awesome quote. I still say let us
Yeah,
leave.
you
to this
really
day.
do.
all the time.
At least once per month, I try and remind us that let us leave was a quote from that because it's so insane. And that guy ends up being a member of the Order of the White Lotus.
I liked when they try to save him, and they have saved him pretty much, but he's just like, it's not time. Like, what does he say? He says you have to know patience and you have to be ready for the right time kind of thing.
No, absolutely.
Imagine
Wait,
finding your
not
friend
sure.
100 years later and just
That's a
old
cool
man.
thing too, yeah.
No, insane.
And frozen for 100 years. And it comes out, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah. It's like Captain America
Yeah,
in that particular way.
in that way. Only that way.
Literally, well, I mean, he's also white of skin.
And just good guy
I don't
throughout.
see
Yeah, good person, willing to fight for truth,
Justice.
justice, and the American way.
Jesus
Wait.
Christ.
Well, the American way, the idea of the American way is very similar to what Aang is trying to do, which is freedom from the oppressors, right? Just trying to overturn. It's just revolution.
Could have fooled me. Huh? Anyway, let's
So yeah, Iroh, master tea person. What do you call someone who really specializes in tea? Just a tea connoisseur.
T. Smith.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, the finest tea smith. He opens a tea shop.
Do we get into your character any deeper?
yeah. Are you done, Matt?
Yeah.
Let's hear some words to hear.
Zaheer.
We can also focus on like moments, like what's a cool moment.
Yeah, because that's mainly why I chose
Oh, we
him.
could talk about more.
There's a moment that really
Well, if you-
captured your attention.
Well, first, yes, the flying when he just jumps off the ledge. You're like, that's fucking weird, and
The
he's just
animation
fucking
in Korra
levitating.
is different. It's better. Is it better?
They go through different studios, budget issues or whatever. But the first season it looks very clean.
You can tell
it looks really
you can
good.
tell that the money for Avatar went up from the first season. The first season, like I said,
Yes.
Oh no.
it's not bad, but you can tell corners are cut sometimes. Like there's some of the fight scenes that are not quite full. Like it's pretty quick.
Absolutely.
But then the second, third season, yeah, you can tell they got a budget. And then Korra, I feel like they were just given a lot of money.
Choreography
Yeah.
for the entire
The-
Avatar series is
Oh,
amazing.
I was gonna say too. Yeah,
Yes,
sorry, I don't.
fighting looks so good.
The fighting, and besides looking good, it also is accurate. Like I was looking at, they're using jujitsu
Real
techniques.
styles. For each different bending type,
yeah.
they're using a different
Yeah,
fighting type.
Martial
Yeah.
I can't remember who I saw, but I think that was one of the first. I was really impressed by it. When I saw a character throw a punch, and I saw another character hook the punch and like parry it and swing him through, and I was like, dude, that's freaking jujitsu right there. That dude's like actually using
Oh,
like
it's definitely
Japanese
inspired.
jiu-jitsu technique.
It's
really
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, and they do a good job of animating it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not just the action fighting; it's they incorporate the magic into the fight.
Yeah.
So season 3, they do have a different studio, but the fighting I think looks a lot better in 3 than it did like in 2.
Legend.
Legend of Korra, yeah. But some badass parts, definitely him flying. You mentioned sucking the air out of someone's lungs. That's what he does to like the Earth Queen. So seeing a character use airbending for like evil,
No, it's very strange.
yeah, just more offensively and diabolically.
Air is very important.
really cool,
Yeah, you
really
learn
cool to
that.
see. And then the gang he rolls around with is badass.
Oh, they're all amazing.
Yeah,
They're so strong.
he has the dude who
Just for
can.
reference, yeah.
I don't even know if he's on. The dude who can lava bend, which I think this is the first time we see.
Lava bending.
Yeah, which is the earth bending technique, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah.
And then he has the firebender who does like the, what is he called in the first one?
Sparky Boom Boom Man?
Yeah. So evolution of that. It's about the same, but she can curve it. I don't know if the first dude could.
Yeah, she can direct instead of just shooting straight beams.
Around the corner. Yeah, very cool. And then the woman who doesn't have arms, but she water bends to make
Like
tendrils.
tentacles.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's Venus de Milo type.
Who?
Venus de Milo is that statue that lost its arms. It's famous. It's a famous statue.
I have no culture.
I trust you. Yeah.
One last thing, or maybe it's not. The world is so great, right? In this show, there's a lot of like Chinese mythology / art, clothing, that kind of thing that's like mixed into it. Even a little bit of Japanese mythology. I think the spirit world is more Japanese, like Shintoism type stuff, and I like that aspect of it. Like when the spirit world episode came, that was one of the episodes I was very impressed with. In the first one, I was like, oh, cool, and they're gonna bring that
what?
into it. Where he goes in the spirit world because the town keeps losing
okay.
people. The forest spirit's up saying he has to please the forest spirit. That's very much like Shintoism. But Chinese in like clothing and like a lot of like the government structure and the buildings and stuff like that.
Earth Kingdom definitely.
Yeah, for
feels
sure.
very Chinese.
Earth
Even
Kingdom's
Fire
got the
Fire
craziest
Kingdom
looking
with
kingdom.
like the top knots and the bangles that hold in and stuff like that. Like it reminded me of like old school like Confucian looking stuff. You know.
It's just my aesthetic now, so.
The creators did their research. And
No, it's,
got
it's,
good inspiration.
It's a good looking show.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of people who responded on our Instagram and asked who is the best character. Actually, no, just one. But I have Jack and Eleanor. They told me who their characters are.
nice.
Everything.
So
I'm ready to hear that.
Jitang or Jitang? Jeta.
Jetta-ong.
Jet-ong.
No, Jetta-ing.
Jetta-ang, okay.
It's like a fan
On
account.
Instagram,
Or Jita-ong.
he or she came in and said, Cabbage Man, he's so hot.
Nice.
Cabbage Man.
Yeah.
And then she said, nah, JK. Aang, because he's an angel and had such an incredible glow up by the end of the series. His character is well developed and he's not a Mary Sue like a lot of the main characters. I don't know what that means.
He's very powerful without any flaws.
Okay, he cares about others and always tries to do the right thing. So she
That's
likes,
true.
He or she likes
My man
her
does get a little
pure
ripped.
character.
Who, Aang?
Yeah.
I was just more talking about how he is just very compassionate.
She said
I
it's
was
glow
gonna
up.
say in Korra, hit the glow up in Korra.
Oh yeah,
When you see a Doang,
yeah. It has the fucking
Here's the
chin strap.
beard.
And
Yeah.
The only man I'd let have it.
Wait.
Chin strap. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The only man he'll let have a chin strap.
You'd let him get it?
Wait, you misheard.
Of all the characters, that's
I
the
want him to
one?
do that sushi trick.
There's not a man among us who would say otherwise.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of awesome moments.
Wait, we haven't heard Jack and Eleanor's.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Jack, when I asked, I told him I was going to go do this today. I told them the story is a bedtime story, so they've never seen it because they're too young.
Yeah, I think they can watch it later.
They need to wait until they're like 7, 8, I think. to
That's why I
watch
chose Legend of
Avatar.
Korra. Because I hold Last Airbender so highly, I'm not ready to rewatch it.
I got you.
It's a decent little flick.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I would say it holds up. It's not like I watched it. I was not nostalgic about it. I was skeptical, and I liked it. So it definitely holds
absolutely, it's good.
up.
Straight up.
Jack's favorite is Aang. Just likes the
Main character?
airbending main character
I mean, no,
boy that
he's
he
a cool
can
character.
roll
I
with.
can relate. And so
And,
can Jetta-ong.
And Eleanor loves Katara because she's the main girl. Yeah.
Your kids are fucking basic. What the
But
shit?
Eleanor also likes Toph. She honorable mentioned Toph.
Oh, well, Toph is
She
awesome.
likes Toph. The blind bandit, as she calls her.
And
She
it's like a
actually
game of
calls her.
telephone, so you're not giving them the full experience. They're getting some.
That's true. No, I'm leaving out like
Just
things that might
FaceTime
scare
them.
Yeah.
FaceTime them.
What would scare them?
The like Spirit World episode where that panda at first it's not a panda, it's like a crazy spirit monster. I don't like describe that or like say it's taking children. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
You know, like Pied Piper type situation?
no, I don't get into that. I just yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I think I'm retconned into like it wouldn't let their crops grow because I feel like a forest spirit might affect their crops, and so like they didn't have enough food, and so Aang has to go into the spirit world. To,
Crops
like,
not really. Cultivated crops normally not in forests, so. Eleanor and Jack probably caught that. They just didn't want to embarrass you.
yeah.
We'll be right back to the show after I read a little ad copy from a company called Netflix. Some of you might have heard that Netflix is adapting Avatar the Last Airbender into a live-action spectacle that's slated to come out later this year. And if you haven't, that's probably because of name confusion. Ever since the Avatar the Last Airbender series aired around the same time that James Cameron's Avatar movie came out, fans have been thoroughly confused. As if it wasn't hard enough to explain how a kid's show could be so brilliant, now you've also got to explain to your mom that it's not that one with the blue aliens. To make matters worse, as soon as we decide to adapt Avatar into a live-action series, James Cameron tells the world that he's finally ready to put out another Avatar movie. That's why we here at Netflix have decided to be proactive and cut down on some of the confusion by giving Avatar a few unique names that fans can recognize it by. The first way we're going to cut through the confusion is to change the way we refer to the main characters. Instead of saying the Avatar and his friends, Netflix has given them the unique name, the Aang Gang. And to help differentiate the show from any of James Cameron's work, we've also given a distinguishable name to each of the seasons. Names that have special significance for the events that occur within those seasons. That's why our first season is called Terminator Judgment Day, because it's all about Prince Zuko's wish to terminate Aang, and that one final day at the Water Village where Zuko has to make a judgment on whether or not to capture Aang. And then, to reflect the fact that the second season will take place far away from home where the Aang Gang are foreigners in a new land, we've decided to call Season 2 Aliens. From there we go to Season 3 of the Avatar, where the Aang Gang faces the most hardships, and they undertake a suicidal trip to the Fire Kingdom. Because of all that, we've decided to call Season 3 Titanic. So be excited for 2021, Avatar fans, or should I say, Terminator fans. And look out for the Aang Gang to return in Seasons 2 and 3 of Aliens and Titanic.
I love when Prince Zuko confronts his father and tells him,
Oh, good.
"I'm outie 5 dowdy."
I don't think he said that.
I'm quoting actually.
Yeah.
It's a direct quote. It's during when the eclipse is happening, so their firebending powers are either weakened or not working at all. What is it? It's not working.
Probably
at all,
weakened.
Right? I don't see them
Yeah.
use it. I don't even see them like.
I know
a
it
spark.
happens, yeah.
Was this during Black Sun?
Because the solar eclipse is whenever,
Aang and them
The
try
Mondo,
to
right?
infiltrate.
but during the other, I think it's one hand or the other. I don't know.
So another thing I'm going to say about Aluza, right? Azula.
Azula.
Ugh. She's a
Mixed up
loser.
concept.
She's a loser.
I'm out. Peace.
She Azula, she's like the villain from season 2 to season 3,
Oh, for sure.
but I don't think she's a good character. I think she's just crazy. She's like crazy.
I think
and
she gets
evil,
more
right?
unhinged as the season goes on.
But, yeah, she's like a.
At the beginning, she starts as cruel,
Yeah.
not crazy.
That's what I'm
She
saying.
goes
She
from
just-
cruel, and then as she is less successful in doing the things she wants to do, she becomes crazy.
She's like a kid version of like
Well, the thing is, she's used to lording her power over Zuko, but then whenever Zuko learns all of these things from his travels and from Iroh and things like
Yeah.
that, he becomes more powerful, and she does not like that at all.
what's the dude from Game
Especially
of
the
Thrones?
lightning reflection. That's like the turning point, right? When
Joffrey?
they fight, isn't that like a thing?
The Bolton? No, what's
Ramsey?
Michael
Ramsey Bolton?
Oh.
Yeah, Usain Bolt, I think is his name.
No.
Ramsey Bolton. She's like the light. She's like the kid version of him. Like she's
Hmm.
just cruel. She wants to please her father or whatever, and then eventually, like I feel like she does have aspirations to like rule too.
Oh no, absolutely. She
I think
could be
she's-
the next Fire Lord.
She's messed up
just
a
a douche.
little as well. I don't know if it's explored in the show, but the
crazy.
comics, she's also kind of fucked up like Zuko. And it goes more into,
She-
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Iroh.
Well, I mean, her parents.
yeah, like finding
Same
her
dad's
mother and stuff.
abusive,
Yeah.
Her mother, I mean, just wasn't allowed to do anything. Her mother was in an abusive relationship with the dad. The dad's just a piece
Yeah,
of crap.
Ozai doesn't seem like a good fellow.
No, man. They do a backstory with him.
They do.
Yeah, they do it. It's just bad. No. They do a backstory with Ozai that like shows that he was friends with the fire, then the Avatar before, right? Or no,
They're
no,
related.
never mind.
They're
His
literally-
dad or his grandfather
was the previous Avatar.
was the previous one. Yeah.
Roku, right?
Yes.
Roku's cool.
It's
Yes,
like that.
very good
I like it quite a
avatar.
Cleans your house like a Roku.
That's the TV streaming thing.
Oh, is it TV series?
You're thinking about Roomba.
Roomba? Okay.
Not at all the same.
A Roku is, I can just watch Avatar on my Roku.
Exactly.
I can watch Roku on my Roku.
If you have new kids.
Only if I have any kids and Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
True. Is that
Fuck
weird?
Jeff Bezos.
It's weird.
I thought that was the chairs.
No, it's
If
my
you-
foot.
That's uncomfortable.
Let's talk about this.
You're
Is it-
playing
Avatar is
football?
good.
Yes.
Is it good enough, though,
To give.
to increase the suffering of factory workers at Amazon?
Jesus Christ.
What are you talking?
I feel like these are separate entities because I'm buying something digital, not
Yeah,
trying to prime
you
ship
think
something to
like
my house.
Like a server slave. So just like a network engineer is the one that's working on it, or a server engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of really sad moments from Avatar,
Yeah?
Uncle Iroh is doing the whole tribute to his son or whatever, Leaves from the Vine.
Yeah, that's technically a filler episode, but
Yeah, I know,
very
it is.
good.
It's so fucking sad. Leaves from the Vine, dude. Cry every time. Absolutely.
Sure.
No, I'm just saying it's a good ep.
No, it is.
I mean, if you don't remember it, then you must not have been paying attention very much.
I must have binge watched it or something
Yeah.
in preparation for this. No, I remember it.
There's a lot of actually random filler episodes that I think are fine or
Yeah.
acceptable because I guess there's not that many episodes.
There's not that many episodes. That's another thing, too, is it's
So the plot is
it's
always
concise. Yeah, it's pretty concise. They don't.
progressing, yeah. They're adding like bits or pieces of lore and stuff here or there. It's not
Yeah.
a pointless filler episode.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
always
if you-
drop some
If
knowledge.
you love the world, then you learn more about the world. And
Or the characters even, yeah.
Even the characters, yeah, they get some character growth. Most three-dimensional character out of the ones we've picked. I feel like they all, like we were talking about, have backstory and explanation. Like your character's a pretty good villain.
Mm-hmm.
Really gets good explanation
I would
of why
say the
they are the way
Korra
they
villains are
are.
less developed because they only have one season.
I feel like they're more developed.
No, I feel like they're more
You
developed.
think so? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Rather than
The
As
Fire
opposed to
Lord is
Ozai?
just
Ozai's just
oh,
a
I'm gonna
dick.
say over Zuko. Or
Ozai's just
Iroh. I'm just saying over the
Ozai's
characters.
just doing what
over
his-
villains.
Ozai's just doing what his dad did.
Yeah.
He's just trying to take over the world, just like the rest of it's just tradition. He's just one of those assholes
I
who
think
wants to
that's
take
a
over the
tradition.
world.
You barely even see him.
Oh
in-
no! Literally until like they fight, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
you
like
see a
so
little
there's
bit.
like no development for that villain.
His development comes through
Iroh.
Zuko's story.
Yeah.
I think Iroh has.
But even then, you just
Iroh has enough
He's a
of a
douche.
history to make him a
And
complex
an
character.
evil
Because
Iroh has a ton of backstory.
I think that there's a lot.
because
Of,
everybody loves that character.
but there's a lot of stuff that has humbled him that I think
Oh,
has
no,
brought
for
him
sure.
to where he is.
Because yeah, he was going to be the next Fire Lord,
Yeah.
and then he got brought down. But he's fine with it because that's what he was supposed to do,
Mhm.
and then that's why he's in the White Lotus and stuff.
And it also explains like why he's able to do things like deflect lightning and stuff like that. He's a
he starts very. You don't think anything of Iroh very much.
Yeah.
But by the time it comes to
Yeah, you think
realize
he-
that he's actually insanely
He's
powerful.
just like this doting old man
Right,
that's
that likes to eat,
yeah.
hang out with his nephew on a little travel.
like I said, I think Zuko's a very complex character who grows, which I think that goes into 3-dimensional.
Oh, sure.
What about?
No growth for Zaheer.
No,
Just
actually,
bad
Just
throughout.
not a good guy.
But there's a history that explains him, right? Or no? I mean,
You just pick it up.
but he's just bad. Even in
Yeah.
history, he's just bad.
Anarchist dude who
Not the most-
trying to destroy the Avatar.
Yeah, destroying the
Buck and
Avatar is
fly.
gonna be bad because the
Yeah.
Avatar
Alright,
maintains
it
balance.
is
So
it is an action-oriented show. I mean, the action's
Yeah.
pretty cool in it.
No, for sure.
Who is the most badass, like the best, coolest action type
Iroh.
character? I don't know if it's Iroh. I feel like
Iroh's
Metal
he
Benders
doesn't
are
get
pretty
that much
cool.
action. I don't think it's Zuko either. I feel like Zuko's very basic.
Yeah.
He just shoots fire.
Best
I
action
mean,
is
he doesn't-
probably Zaheer.
Oh, in terms of just the way it's choreographed.
like cool badass. Like they do cool badass.
Oh,
things.
yeah, Zaheer's
I don't think
crew
Zuko gets
is
a lot of cool badass moments.
Badass.
I
Zuko
think
is more
Iroh
about
is
personal
very
growth.
badass.
It's more about personal growth. for
He's
him.
an excellent team maker. And also the prison scene.
No, yeah, when he
The
comes out
prison
of
scene
there.
montage, you're just like, damn, that's so. How did this man do this?
I don't know enough about Zaheer, but
He actually busts out of just an iron prison just using his muscles. Like that's just what it is. The entire prison is just broken. The bars and shit. That's how strong that man gets. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
So is he the most
That's
badass?
superhuman.
Is he the most like cool badass like fighting type guy?
I wouldn't say like my character Amon, since he's trying to appear as a non-bender.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say the action's as badass. It's still very strong. He can take down almost any bender with just martial arts, which is pretty insane.
And a little bit of blood bending.
Yeah, a little bit of love in it.
Yeah, and then taking people's bending.
So
It's definitely not badass because there's nothing to it. He just,
hardcore, though.
he just puts his thumb to their head and it's
And
gone.
they
But
just-
yeah, no, it's devastating. The first time he does it to like a main character.
He does it to Toph's granddaughter, whatever her name is, or her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he does it to Korra, and that's
Oh,
Yeah, that
man.
shit was
That's
wild.
a twist. Oh, he takes the Avatar's power, which that's
But-
her hero's journey moment of losing her.
but
what-
what's cool is
reveal.
that's what allows her to finally learn airbending.
yes,
Yeah.
Because at that point she had not unlocked that ability at all. And so he takes away her other 3 types of bending, and only then is she allowed to like manifest the airbending. Which
Depending
is
on
really cool.
what tribe you belong to makes it harder to learn the other ones, right?
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to
Ain't
work.
no
Well,
problem with fire
It's not based on your
With
tribe, so it's just
airbending.
it's your personal mentality.
Oh, okay.
That's how they built upon it in the new season. Season 3 has some pretty badass moments because I think it has the most death as well.
There's a lot
I feel
of
like there's definitely like at least 3 people who just perish.
Oh, they're straight up icing people.
Do they
Yeah.
die or do they perish? Perishing is
They tragically perish.
Yeah, the Sparky Boom Boom chick who's about to do it and then just gets a metal helmet around her right
an
before she does
Iron
it.
Man situation,
Yes,
yeah.
and she just blows up her own skull essentially. That's what we have to assume
It's
happens.
insane.
It's the only way you can die
Yeah.
if you're that strong.
The lava dude, I'm pretty sure, just gets engulfed in lava. And then at the end, Korra's just emotionally dead. Because she
Yeah.
goes through those like few years of just straight depression.
Oh yeah, she's devastated.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be that way though?
Yeah, because I don't even remember what happens because we haven't got to that episode again yet.
Yeah, on the
but
rewatch.
she's just defeated and just depressed and in isolation while like her friends send her letters and stuff.
Yeah.
plot driver. Which character moves the plot forward? I feel like
Well,
the characters
obviously
in the season
the
they're
For
on.
our
Yeah, I'll say
seasons,
again,
we definitely
Devastating
got the plot.
Korra, like if you talk about the hero's journey, I feel like Korra getting fucking beat down in season 3 is really big for her development. And that's
Like, I would-
done by Zaheer.
I would say Amon's conflict definitely changes Republic City.
Oh, without a doubt.
And that's probably like what motivates them to shift from like the Council of Benders to like a non-bending president
I think
to like represent the common people.
It's like a House of Lords, House of Commons situation.
Yeah.
I think Zuko is he's the villain of the first season in a way, right? Not necessarily super evil, but he's the bad guy who's
I
chasing
don't
after
think he's
them.
like a villain. He's closer to like
He's the
Sasuke.
friend- he's
You
the
know-
frenemy.
You know he's going to be a good guy in the end.
Do you?
Absolutely.
I think as a child, I didn't.
I mean, Sasuke
I was a
is never
simple
good
child.
guy, but yeah.
But what I was going to say is I feel like Zuko is sort of a tipping. He tips the scale on where the story's going to go because when he decides to help his sister, things go wrong and Aang gets messed up. And then when he decides to help the Avatar, then they're finally able to succeed. So I feel like he is sort of a linchpin. Like him joining either side does sort of tip the scale and push them over the edge, which does steer the plot. a
They
little bit.
needed him to teach Aang firebending.
And
Yes,
he's fighting
no,
fire,
literally,
which
yeah.
is huge. Yeah, because I mean, Did he really? I mean, what did he do with firebending to defeat the Fire Lord? I mean,
Jetpack fly around.
Jetpack fly
Yes.
around. We were just talking about
He
how
wouldn't be able
any
to
firebender can
chase
fly.
the Fire Lord without the jetpack
Yeah.
ability. So.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
also,
It's not that impressive.
The Avatar just needs to know all 4 bendings to like.
That was only that
Yeah,
day though when the firebending was
power.
just insanely powerful.
Oh,
The
yeah.
comet, yeah.
You literally just blast around. It's so insane. It's just like having a jetpack. You're like fucking Diddy Kong. It's wild.
we already did the.
So Fire Lord is equally as strong as Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong's more powerful because he can do it when there's not a comet.
We already did the Instagram and my children who their favorite characters were.
Uh-huh.
But Sexy Matt has joined us. The
So Sexy
Matt from the Watchmen episode. But who's the best character in Avatar according to you? We won't pick it, but
Maybe we will. Who knows? Or maybe he'll just pick one of the characters that we've already selected.
The one I like the most is the uncle.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
For sure, it's the uncle,
Oh no,
dude.
he's the coolest.
Without
by
him,
far.
yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
all right, Matt, you can leave.
That's Dark Matt's out of the.
So yeah, that's my vote right there already.
All right, well, I mean,
I hate for it to be that way, but it just be like that.
we got. I'll cut that out in post. But
So do we have all we need?
I
Is
think
that
we
it?
do have all we need. Unless y'all want to say anything else.
Mm-mm.
All right.
It just is what it is. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that simple then. 3, 2, 1.
It's
Uncle
Iroh.
Iroh. Ooh,
Did you say Iroh?
I did.
You said Iroh?
Yeah, Iroh.
We got
You
a
said
tie.
Zuko. God
Well,
damn
we
it.
have the tiebreaker here.
Iroh.
What? Sexy
Well,
man is
Iroh's
the
gonna
tiebreaker.
We gotta reconsider.
You almost
it.
had me.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but we'll be right back after this very special message. We're coming to the end of the first season of Your Favorite Character Sucks. Matt, Bran, and I spent a lot of time researching, some of our own money renting movies and episodes of shows. I keep forgetting to cancel my subscription to Nick Hits that I needed to get in order to watch Avatar the Last Airbender. And then we've got to find time to actually record these things. We're proud of the research we put in. We're proud of the quality of the episode. We love finding really passionate guests, but one thing that we're not too fond of is our current struggle with audio quality. For Season 2, we're really hoping that we can have upgraded equipment so that not only is the content great, but the audio quality is as good as we can possibly make it. And that's where you come in. If you find yourself enjoying every episode of this podcast that you hear, then please consider going to our Patreon where you can be a paid subscriber. Whether it be $1 a month, $2, $5, $10, no more than that. Anything you can give helps us know that we've got something really special that people want to hear, and it would give us the confidence needed to go out and buy expensive equipment and to continue to take time out of our lives to make these episodes happen. So please consider visiting our Patreon where you can become a paid subscriber at patreon.com/YFCSpod. That's patreon.com/YFCSpod. You can also Google search Your Favorite Character Sucks Patreon, and you should be able to find our page. Soon we'll have a video up explaining what donating means. We're not just going to accept your money to help us increase the audio quality, but we're also going to provide special offers for people who do become paid members of our podcast. So again, guys, you don't have to, but if you like what you hear and you appreciate the work that we do, please consider going to patreon.com/YFCSpod. The more we get, the more confident we'll be to go and spend our own money buying better equipment to make our podcast even better. Thank you for listening to Your Favorite Character Sucks. We really appreciate it. All right, back to the show.
Zuko and Iroh.
Here's why.
It's such a core part of who Zuko
Let's
is.
talk about it again. Let's
Let's
talk about it again, and then we'll do it again.
Iroh is my favorite,
Uh-huh.
but Zuko is a more important character to the story.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the problem is, without Iroh, Zuko doesn't do anything.
Yes.
He's a worthless
Zuko's
piece of shit.
but evolution
without
comes through
Zuko,
Iroh.
Aang doesn't do anything.
So we stop at the
So we
top of the
start at
chain.
the top, which
The
is
Iroh, Zuko, then
and then we
Aang.
trickle down.
Well, then you can say Iroh would be nothing without the dragons.
Correct.
All right, so
Okay,
dragons.
so dragons.
Dragons
Dragons.
without God.
Well, dragons aren't very cool. They're the first firebenders. I mean, they're only
And
two.
the God of the Avatar will be nothing without our imagination. So we're the most powerful.
It's
character
actually
in Avatar.
it's
We're
the
best character in
creators, the
creators of
people who
Avatar,
wrote
best
the story.
Mike and Brian, my
Mike and
boys.
Brian, yeah,
Brian.
absolutely.
Are they American? Or are they like?
They are.
Oh really?
Their names are Mike and Brian.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. Like,
One of their last names
I'm
is
surprised, though.
Konietzko, which I don't know the origin of that, but
because they did do their research.
no, I think they've traveled and stuff. Yeah, just
It's an American cartoon.
well
for sure.
cultured
I
men.
thought it was, but also, like I said, it does a lot of stuff that is very close to like Japanese and Chinese mythology,
Oh, no,
and
for
history,
sure.
and architecture.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed then.
And the water
There's
tribes.
really nothing that Americans can't culturally appropriate. There's really nothing we
It's
can't
not really
steal.
appropriation if you pay respect and do your diligence, things
Yeah.
like that. I wouldn't know though because I would never do those things.
Yeah.
So what then?
How do you settle this?
God dang it.
I think I'm
We've
telling
never
you,
had this issue.
Sexy Matt literally just said it.
Well, of course you're gonna say he should vote because he wants your.
You already know his
vote.
vote.
Yeah, absolutely. It's already been predestined. I think we really should pay deference to our elders here.
I don't think
Maybe it's-
Iroh is as complex of a character as
It's not about
Zuko.
complexity.
I
That's
mean, you're
part of it.
true. That's right, but
Yeah, it's not.
Because we're not arguing our favor, we're arguing the best.
Yeah, no, that complexity bogs down
All right,
the character.
then let's redo the
Entire podcast.
no.
God damn it.
Let's redo the most badass three-dimensional stuff, but just with these two characters then.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Three-dimensional.
I feel like we know
complex.
everything about both the characters. I don't.
I think
There's nothing-
Is anyone going to change their mind realistically?
Who's more badass?
I doubt it.
Iroh.
Uncle Iroh. You
Not
can
even
say
close.
more
Yeah,
badass,
Iroh is
yes.
way more badass.
You can say, what does that mean? No, I just
think so.
I've spoken with a dragon, Iroh.
Who's in both? series?
Zuko also
Zuko
trains
trained
with the
with the
dragons.
dragons.
Oh, that's true. Shit.
Yeah.
Sets up a successful tea shop in the Earth Kingdom, Iroh. Teaches the other person elements of firebending.
Who
Zuko is also a firebending teacher.
who as a child
They're just too similar.
is banished from their
Maybe
kingdom?
it's their combo.
Yeah, they're very similar.
No, they're so intertwined in the.
Are we gonna have a tie?
It's the combo of those two characters are the best, maybe.
Perhaps.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Because
Ice
their
climbers.
stories are so intertwined.
they're ice climbers.
Well, in this instance, Iroh would be the primary one. That.
But also, clearly, this show is about the kids.
No, it is for sure. But even in a show about kids, Iroh is still just one of the coolest.
Yeah, no.
If not the coolest character.
He is the coolest, without a
Oh,
doubt.
without a doubt, yeah.
Iroh, yes, confident all that
In
stuff.
both series,
In his old age.
he's the
Oh,
coolest
no, yeah.
character.
But I would say
Oh yeah, Zuko doesn't even. They mention him, right? But they don't
No,
ever.
you
show
see him in part 3.
Yeah,
You see Old Man
He
Zuko.
tries to prevent
He's still the Fire Lord,
Red
isn't he?
Lotus coming back together.
Yeah, he's still
Uh,
briefly. Very,
yeah.
No, he is definitely the fire.
And he
Lord.
rides a dragon.
Actually, I think his
Badass.
granddaughter might be the Fire Lord.
Oh,
and he's just
you might be
chilling.
right. Yeah.
he's deferred to her, which
Which would be the first, because
yes, but that's what I'm saying. I think that Zuko is cool because yes, Iroh's cool because he's got all that knowledge stuff.
Well, yeah,
But
so
we
let's
see Zuko at a
consider our
very
show,
young
too.
age.
Oh, okay.
Zuko helps found Republic City with
That's
Aang.
true.
He brings peace,
But
like,
Iroh's
to the
also
Warring
such an
Kingdoms.
insane teacher that even though he's not an Avatar, the next Avatar.
Hold up, though. We haven't discussed how Iroh invented bubble tea, though.
Oh,
That's in the comics.
Shit.
Oh,
My
shit, I haven't
man's,
read the
my man's
comics.
invents bubble tea.
That's very important. Think of how much net happiness that is. We're talking about in terms of utility now. Who had the greater impact upon the universe as a whole?
Zuko had to overcome physical and emotional scars.
How did you do that though?
Yes, he had to get someone to help him. But then, I mean, are we going to say the trainer of every hero is the better
Yes.
character? Really?
Gandalf.
Gandalf's better than Frodo as a character?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not about.
There's no debate in that. In that case, there's no debate.
Do they
I would say that I think Gandalf's even cooler than Aragorn.
How do y'all decide this?
Oh, man. We
Well, we
had
talking
a
about
fifth
others?
person. We tied once. We had a fifth
Obi-Wan?
person to break.
Get cooler than Luke. Obi-Wan cooler than Darth Vader in the prequels for sure.
Oh, and
Luke Skywalker.
Well, I will
cooler
say you're
than
arguing the
Rey.
same
I'm just
thing.
saying
Yeah, they are cooler, but as Bran said, his choice is based on just character.
Yeah, also better, I would say. Well, we've never actually come to this point.
No,
what,
we
do we,
haven't.
what do we do?
What's her name? Cooler than the Von Trapp kids.
I say we just agree
What's
to
her
the
Maria?
duo.
Maria.
Duo?
Maria.
Yeah.
Cooler than the Von Trapp kids.
Just leave it at a time. Reasonable.
oh,
like
my
I said,
God, really?
Well,
Like,
they're-
if it
they
were-
are so intertwined
If it were
that
it's-
opposing
it's
characters, we'd still have to debate it. But since their stories are so linked,
And you
I
know
think
what?
it makes sense.
Here's the thing: we only promise people that their favorite character sucks.
Yeah.
We never promised.
We don't say that we'll decide on one.
We do say that, but
We explicitly say this
think
is
it's
the
an
best
intro.
character. It's part of the
it might be in
intro.
the intro. But we all say it says we have the confidence of American.
I've never
man.
listened to an episode. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Reasonable. Like I said, sexy Matt, even if he's only worth 0.0000001% of a vote, that still tips us in the favor just barely.
All right. Well, then if he gets a vote, then we also got to get my brother, and we got to get Tyler.
They're not in this room.
I got
They're in
it.
this house.
just bring them all in here.
All right, bring everybody in. Fuck it. Let's go.
Okay, here's one category we didn't consider, but y'all will win.
Best singer?
Most popular.
That's
we
one of
didn't-
the Iroh.
we talked about most popular.
Not even close.
Iroh.
I mean, Zuko is beloved as well.
Mhm.
Is he? As much as Iroh?
Yeah.
I think Zuko is liked.
Yeah, he is.
Oh no, he's
for sure.
actually like, and he's also probably in a lot
Shipped.
more like
Most shipped.
Fanfics?
erotic
My-
fanfic.
oh,
I know.
It's
Aang and
Zuko
Zuko.
Katara.
Yes.
It depends on what community you ask. So
Well, yeah.
in the erotic fanfic, Zuko by far, I'd
Mhm.
imagine. But amongst the general public, I think Uncle Iroh is actually the most beloved character in the entire first series.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Intriguing. Iroh. I know what he's gonna do. He's Iroh. I know he's gonna do.
Do you?
He's gonna be chill.
You
he's
know
gonna be
everything that
He's
Iroh-
gonna be funny. He's going to be, fatherly, right?
Yeah, sure.
Zuko. Whenever I see Zuko on the screen, and I'm talking from somebody who binge watched it while playing games, stuff like that, or cleaning the house, binge watching, right?
So not focusing. Yeah.
When Iroh's on the screen, I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. When Zuko's on the screen, there are so many pivotal moments in the series where Zuko's decision, like I said, he's a linchpin, and where I'm like watching because I'm like, what is he going to do, right? So I'm more intrigued when Zuko's on the screen because he's unpredictable, and I don't know what he's going to do. Whereas Uncle Iroh, not as interesting of a character. He's cool. I like him, but
maybe not.
I think he's definitely
he doesn't
more
intrigue me. He doesn't
I
intrigue
wouldn't
me.
say he's less interesting. Maybe less dynamic.
Less dynamic.
Because the lore behind him is far more interesting.
It's very interesting.
than anything that has to do with Zuko. Because his whole history is insane.
All right.
The history of that character is.
We're not going to convince each other? No?
I think
Iroh
so.
and Zuko?
I literally cannot be moved. It's
All right.
impossible. Also, I would even if I thought that Zuko was a better character, I would not say so.
I know you would because you're an asshole.
Well, it's not because I'm an asshole.
See,
It's because I'm stubborn.
I'm staying
Yeah,
true
I'm
to the
stubborn because I'm
podcast.
an
I like Iroh more, but I'm sticking with Zuko because I think he's a better character
The
overall.
reason is irrelevant. All of us are
Brandon always goes with who he...
I'm doing it for the people. You're doing it for yourself.
That's true.
Yes.
Not very Iroh-like.
Yeah. Wow. That's fucked. More Zuko-like, honestly. Wait.
Yeah, that's why I'm
early
lamer.
Zuko,
That's
early
why I'm lamer, and he should be.
Okay, you're
Iroh's better, right? If Madsen and Zuko are similar.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, well, the ice climbers of Avatar.
Is there not more dynamic duo than the Ice Climbers?
Uncle Iroh and Prince Zuko.
I'll accept that.
No, that's reason. Like I said,
same way.
they're so together.
Yeah.
Like throughout the entire series. I mean, there's that brief moment where they separate, but then it just ends up. That
90% of the time, they're doing the same.
And so your
stuff.
favorite character sucks first. Got a tie.
I can't believe it. We did it again. We figured out who the best character is in whatever we're talking about, despite the podcast being called Your Favorite Character Sucks. Now the only question is, what should we do next? You can help us decide by following us at YFCS Pod on Instagram and Twitter and telling us which show, movie, series, book you think we should do. Until then, hit that subscribe button and catch us on the next episode. Thanks for listening.